Hi, I'm Denise, and it's great to have you back at Inside the Mind Meditations for Part 19, Stage 2 of the Fundamentals of Physical and Mental Relaxation. And keep in mind, we add a new podcast each week, and also remember to not operate machinery or drive while meditating. Um, okay, I must apologize. I noticed I forgot the tri-breath, or three breaths as one, in the last meditation. However, if you have your beads or some way of counting, even if it is your fingers and toes, I promise I will remember this time. And just as well, it occurs to me I should mention you can break from meditation 3 times before having to start again. It's a good time to practice paramita if we are interrupted, as then we hold the meditation wherever we are. We just get up, do what we have to do while holding the paramita, and then return to posture, in this case, lying down. And also remember, make peace where you can and draw a firm boundary in peace where you can't, and pass by in peace any situation which resists peace or a respectful boundary. And we will talk about this more later, but for now, just practice that. It's a good way to gain strength. Um, okay, to begin, one of the most interesting things I often hear about meditation is a lot of people lack confidence in how well they do it. Um, well, I would say having that realization is actually a great start, not only for meditation, but for greater realization about all things. The fact is, there are times when we do it well and when we don't, just as with all things. And just because we don't do something well one day, regardless of what it is, there's no reason to lack confidence. I don't care how long you've been doing anything, there are moments we do things better than at other times. The same with meditation. But the more we meditate, the sooner that bell curve changes over time for us. Not only with meditation, but with all things, because our confidence rises and self-awareness and command of self are part of that. One of the greatest things meditation offers us is awareness of self and also of others. The more clearly we're able to see ourselves, the more we're able to command ourselves, and thus our confidence rises as situations begin to change around us. And toward that end, like anyone, I could give you everything you need for a moment to watch you cast it away if you received it at all. And that includes building your confidence, or I could show you how to find within yourself what you need, and thus you will have real confidence because you have learned how to do these things yourself. And the sad thing is, I commonly see fools who have the most confidence, whereas highly intelligent people have the least. This is both intellectually and emotionally intelligence that I speak of. And studies show this is because intelligent people see more than others and are thus uncomfortable with what they know because they know there is more to know. Whereas, someone who is mentally or emotionally inept, they think they know everything, so their confidence is great. And that's fine. That is fine. Knowing this, though, you should have more confidence than the fool. However, that is not commonly the case. Instead, the common idiot, excuse the term, has more confidence, as on the rare occasion they actually do something right, they are pleased with themselves. They already think they're doing everything perfectly anyway, so if they do something better one day than they do the next, I mean, they are like cheering themselves on. And that's okay too. Um, the intelligent person, though, sees they can do something better even when they get it perfect, and thus they are more hard on themselves when they should actually just be going with the flow and, learning real confidence in that they've achieved something else and that they can see what else they need to achieve. The blind man cannot see, but the sighted man sees. So, since the blind are so busy proving themselves at everyone else's expense, which is often the case, they have a tendency to also tear down the competent to build themselves up, and the competent has a tendency to believe them. It's strange how it works, but it actually does work that way. However, the more we practice self-awareness and command of self through meditation, then the blind really aren't able to shatter our confidence for their own use and false elevation. And when we are not so easily torn down, then our confidence rises. And there is a huge difference between real confidence and false confidence. Toward that end, I could give you everything you need simply by telling you the truth of what is and also about yourself, but you would likely dismiss it, however much doing so might comfort you for a moment if you accepted it. But discovering it yourself would build a foundation within that is unshakable. And so, as much as I'd like to do these things for you, it's not the responsibility of the teacher to give you perfection of yourself, because the teacher cannot do that. To claim otherwise or expect such is false. Instead, it is the responsibility of the teacher to teach you to find excellence within yourself, rather than make you dependent upon a perfect environment and wonderful words which will not sustain you. And yes, we all need words to guide us, but we don't need them to seduce us. Therefore, it is my goal to help you arrive at a state of mind in which you are able to find perfection within yourself rather than be disturbed by what is not perceptually acceptable as perfection to you or others through judgments or preconceived notions. Imagine, if you will, if monks had to have perfection and everyone's approval to be confident. Uh, it would never happen. However, they found perfection within and now see when they lack confidence in self or anything they do. And when they see these things, they realize it is time to go more deeply within and build self stronger. Thus, so can you find your own way rather than mine? Um, I'll give you mundane realities so that you are hopefully able to see into your own mind rather than a reflection of mine or anyone else's, and discover your own creations while becoming increasingly at peace with your imperfectly perfect self and surroundings, while eventually arriving at perfection through imperfection, unity and chaos, and so on. And thus you'll find you've been meditating quite well all along, as well as doing all else well too on your road to excellence. For we are only able to do what we are able to do until we're able to do it otherwise. Remember, the sea is not always still, but it is perfect always, unless, of course, it's polluted, and thus needs to be tended to. The same with the mind, body, and spirit. And once we can see into our own mind, we are able to see into the minds of those around us, and we can see their barriers and their progress just as we do our own. And this way we are able to redirect situations as they are accepted, and we also become truly empathetic. And remember, not everyone wants peace and harmony. Some want chaos and confusion, for they feel their construction can only come through destruction of others. But you don't have to be a part of that. However, the more you become, the more likely they will seek to destroy you. And those who wish to become, the more you become, the more they will feel comfortable around you and become more too. So as you become better, some individuals will become worse while others will become better. And there is nothing that you can do about people who choose to become worse except pass them by. And regardless if we don't know ourselves, it's impossible to know anyone else. And if we are truthful when we know ourselves, we know everybody else. And if we love ourselves exactly as we are, then it's easy to love others who are different from us, and easy to let go of those who destroy, and also easy to lift up those who construct. At first, it's hard to let go of those we held hope for. Later, it becomes easy when we don't measure our worth by another's approval, especially those whose approval we will never have. And again, this does not mean to allow yourselves to be exploited or abused. It does mean we are okay to not engage in such activity to the detriment of self and others. And in doing this, when the challenge is over, we are eventually able to leave in peace. And until we are in peace, we have much to work on within ourselves. Trying to change anyone else will not make peace. And it won't give us confidence either. But confidence does arise out of peace. It doesn't come anywhere else. So as nice as all of that sounds, most of us have to be driven to an extreme before we will endeavor to correct our lives, much less practice meditation. Rather, we generally have a tendency to battle with all those around us until we gain a minimal amount of awareness in an effort to force them to fit our needs and maintain an order of false perfection. But when we realize that nothing will change while we are still part of the perfect problem, we are then willing to accept our own imperfections and find excellence within ourselves. But we must realize we will never, ever be ugly enough to make another beautiful, poor enough to make another rich, incompetent enough to make another competent, etc., etc. And those who are at peace with themselves will accept everything about us just as we are, and they will celebrate our growth as we celebrate theirs. But if they are in conflict with themselves, just as if we are in conflict with ourselves, we cannot accept things from others that we wish for. Even then, when we come to the state of realization, when we are well enough to hobble through this wasteland of fallacies, it will, in a way, be different from the old way of departing from old patterns that led to our partial destruction before, and in some cases, our complete annihilation. However, that's when we know we have progress, because then our first steps begin on a better path. And then we begin to know the difference between delusional nature and our true nature. And as we become more self-aware, we realize the strengths and weaknesses of others and see how they abuse and thus eventually lead them to their destruction, and move to a place in which we are not harmed by their tactics, nor do we harm others with ours. And when we do that, confidence comes as we begin to know the truth and accept it rather than resist it. So basically, once a master sees into his true mind, he becomes it. He works toward it and takes each careful step to arrive at a place of dwelling where he sees the world through it. And then we are not strangers to others, as we are no longer strangers to ourselves. The master, when he realizes everything is shared, a shared experience, including our struggles to become who we are really are, rather than what we are told we are, becomes himself. And the master knows who to follow, who to walk with, and who to leave behind. He learns everything from everyone then, and thus his journey is made lighter. And he does this all without resistance or conflict. It's done completely in peace. And in this way, we begin to understand there are many different levels of meditation and many ways to do them. Same with life. As we move on, if we are on the right path, we advance. If we are on the wrong path, we get lost. But every wise man was lost at least once, if not a million times, before he found the way. And now, please lie flat on your back with your spine straight, hands beside the hips and palms up, and allow your eyes to rest comfortably as you settle in and make any last-minute adjustments for physical comfort. And now become aware of your points of contact. And if you don't know how to do this, please return to podcast number 2 and begin there, so you may know how to do everything the best as we progress and thus get the most out of it. And now become aware of your body as a whole. And once settled, allow your mind to wander or to review the day's events or rehearse for future events or to conclude any thoughts it may have. And observe without judgment while remaining aware of the body. And notice the feelings these thoughts create within the body. Observe: pleasant, not pleasant, or neutral. And as you notice how these thoughts and feelings feel in the body, become aware of where they are attached to. And observe: are the thoughts and feelings leaving the body feeling pleasant, not pleasant, or neutral? And if a particular thought or feeling persists, label it with one word, and then determine if it is a shared or unique experience, and return the focus to the overview of the body. And notice the energy these thoughts and feelings create within the body without judgment. Simply observe. And also notice the areas of the body that are in complete comfort and not attached to emotion or feeling. And now, opening your eyes softly, return your focus to your surroundings and look around the room so that you become entirely aware of your space. And notice the objects within and any sounds. And as you become aware of your surroundings, begin deep circular breathing at 100% capacity for 10 breaths, with each inhale counting as 1 and each exhale counting as 2, and so on until you reach 10, and then begin again. And inhale through the nose, filling the entire stomach, and then expand the breath into the chest, counting the inhale as 1 breath, and exhale through the mouth, allowing the body to collapse as the breath leaves the body as the 2nd breath, and so on until you reach 10. And with the next breath, allow your breath to return to normal, and close your eyes and look up and out through your 3rd eye, activating the pituitary gland by crossing your eyes as you look out in the distance. And allow the body to breathe naturally while remaining aware of the body and breath, but comfortably retaining focus on the 3rd eye. And if it causes stress on your 3rd eye or on your eyes, look out a little bit further into the distance so that your eyes do not feel such tension. And while keeping focus on your 3rd eye, become aware of the energetic field of the body. And now, while lying on your back, let's activate our chi by rubbing the palms of the hands together at the same time that we rub the soles of our feet together. And having done that, please sit with the spine straight and move into prayer pose with 5 pounds of pressure of the palms pressing together and another 5 pounds as the sides of the thumbs press into the breastbone with the fingers angled out away from the body at 60 degrees. And let's activate our thyroid now by closing the eyes 9/10 of the way and staring at the tip of our nose. Again, crossing the eyes. And now we will tune into the divine wisdom of Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. 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 And now, while still in prayer pose and while still activating the thyroid, set your intention through great sincere feeling from the heart. And as you set your intention, feel all the love you have in your heart for those you ask for and also for yourself. And if you have to, visualize yourself and those you ask for as you set your intention. But if you can move through feeling only, then only hold your great feeling of love for yourself and others in your heart as you state your intention. And I would like you to begin with, I ask this for myself and for whomever else, and also for the entire universe. And then feel your intention deeply within your heart. And while still staying in prayer pose, and while keeping the thyroid activated, let's begin with the prayer of protection, which is always wise as we further meditation. And that is Gudray, Jagot, Saat, Cidy, Daveigh, Nameh. 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 And now give gratitude through great feeling from the heart. And while holding that gratitude in your heart, lay down now with the spine straight and feel the body settling in by placing your hands in a comfortable position. And moving to 70% breath capacity, let's move into internal breathing. Please softly close your eyes and place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth at the hard palate, located right behind the teeth in a very relaxed manner, and relax all the muscles in your face. And keeping the tip of the tongue on the hard palate, breathe in and out through the nose at 70% and become progressively aware of the breath as it moves from the tip of the nose in stages through the center of the body, as though through a tube, all the way to the second chakra. And as you become aware of the breath inside the nose and within the body, follow the sensation of the breath and these stages. Feel the breath from the tip of the nose as it moves through the nose, feeling all movement within, including that of the nose hairs, as the breath passes in through the nose and out through the nose. And becoming progressively aware of the breath in stages, follow the breath from your nose to the back of your throat. And now follow the breath from the tip of the nose to the back of the throat and into the lungs, without expanding the chest, and keeping the breath at 70%. And following the same pattern from the nose to the throat to the lungs, follow the breath now into the solar plexus. And follow the breath from the nose to the back of the throat, to the lungs, solar plexus, and now into the navel. And follow the flow of the breath from the tip of the nose to the throat, lungs, navel, and now into the second chakra, located between the navel and the crest of the pelvis. And continue breathing in and out with the tip of the tongue on the hard palate, face relaxed, inhaling through the nose at 70%, following the breath through the body, all the way from the tip of the nose to the second chakra, and then exhale through the nose at 70%. And do this for 10 full breaths, with each inhale and exhale counting as one breath. And when you have reached 10 breaths, move into soft breath, where there is no lapse in time between the inhale and the exhale, and each inhale and exhale count as one breath, and continue to count again to 10. And once you reach 10 full breaths, we will begin a count of try. But right now, it's inhale 1, exhale 2, and then exhale, and then in soft breath, inhale and exhale as 1, inhale and exhale as 2. And when you reach soft breath, each inhale and exhale count as 1. And when you reach 10 in soft breath, return and begin to count again from 1 through 10. And now we will begin tri-breath for each 3 breaths as one. Count inhale, exhale, inhale as first breath. Exhale, inhale, exhale as second breath, and so on until you reach 10, and then return to natural breath. And if you haven't already, with the next breath, return to natural breath. Breathe in and out through the nose, placing your hands over the pelvic region or on the belly, wherever you can most comfortably feel the rise and fall of the breath. And turn your attention to the body, and without judgment, observe, does the body feel heavy or light, tense or at ease? And feel the weight of the body as it sinks into the surface you are lying on. And observe the points of contact for the head, shoulders, back, hips, arms and hands, legs and feet, and feel them settle in comfortably, noticing the breath in its natural state. And now turn the attention to the body, letting the points that want attention guide you. Notice areas of discomfort. And as you notice the areas of discomfort in your body, realize they are just frozen energy manifesting in form within the body. And now I want you to focus on these areas through feeling. Do not visualize them, feel them. And fill them with great love for the body's miraculous ability to heal. And as you feel these areas that are calling for your attention, stay focused on the areas until they dissipate and melt in the warmth of your love. Without visualization, feel as you would if these areas were a piece of ice in a frying pan, and the frying pan is your love. And first, the frozen energy melts from the outside in and becomes water in the pan. And then in its warmth, the water begins to sizzle and evaporates, leaving the pan or the body as in steam. And without visualization, only feeling, allow the frozen areas of energy to dissipate and leave the body in this way. And stay focused on the energy as it leaves the body and moves 2 feet away from the body and dissipates. And if one area calls for attention most, give your attention to that area. And if there are no areas of physical tension within the body, or no feelings of negativity within the emotional body, then just focus on the body as a whole and feel its energy filled. And feel it clear and heal. And if you have nothing to work on, just stay focused on the energy field of the body and the breath, and perhaps return to counting. And if you drift away, return the focus to whatever you were working on. And remain aware of the breath as you work on these energy fields, and allow any frozen or stagnant areas to disperse. And now let's do a full body scan through feeling deeply within, but without visualization. Start the scan as we have learned, from the top of the head to the tip of the fingers, and then through the torso and the pelvic region and the toes. And as you do this, make note of comfort or discomfort. And if you are not finished dispersing your energies yet, just stay focused on them and scan later. And now, without counting, but while keeping focus on the natural breath and remaining aware of the body, please allow the mind its freedom to do as it will. We generally notice when we allow the mind its will, it then relaxes and doesn't struggle with our focus, just like us, and wishes for freedom and validation without judgment. And when we have the attention of self, we don't need it from anyone else or anything else. So don't distract ourselves by trying to gain it. Now remember, 40 days to break a habit, 90 days to make a new one, and 1,000 days of practice for that habit to become who you are. And if you're having trouble finding time to meditate daily, it's probably a good idea to schedule a time for it. And regarding your paramita and active living, if you get into the body first thing in the morning while adjusting your heart and trying to carry paramita once you rise, it will actually help you remember to do it later as your day progresses. And part of your paramita should be to be aware of challenging situations before you move into them. And if you choose a challenging person for this practice to practice command of self with, choose someone who cannot harm you in any way. And it is also equally important to choose someone you love to connect with and all that you do with them during paramita as well. And this way we grow our relationships, both those which offer us ease and those which challenge us. And remember, as you observe yourself and others without judgment, to recognize thoughts or feelings, pleasant, not pleasant, or neutral, and label thoughts with one word and note if they are a shared or unique experience. And now you may choose to go to sleep or be on with your day. And if you wish to go to sleep, if you are able, please comfortably turn your head to the right and drift off to the sound of my voice after giving great gratitude for today and tomorrow and all week long. And if you wish to rise, please slightly turn your head to the left or roll over on your left side if you can, and become aware of your body, your fingers and toes, hands and feet, legs and arms, tummy and torso, shoulders, back, neck, face and head, and finally your body as a whole. And observe, does the body feel heavy or light, relaxed or tense? And now recognize your points of contact and become aware of the sounds around you. Open your eyes and become aware of your surroundings, the things you see and hear. And after giving gratitude for the day, tomorrow, and all week long, while holding the feeling of joy in your heart, you may rise when you're ready. And it was great to see you again. We'll post a new meditation about each week, and please check back with us and feel free to subscribe to our channel. We love having you with you, and your comments are always appreciated. And also check out our notes for suggested podcasts and reading materials to help you on your journey. Good day or night, and I hope to see you again soon. And thank you for being here.